Okay, well, in this last video, this kind of beginner series, we're going to cover um, using WordPress and posting pages and using widgets. Okay, pages and widgets. Um, Now, with pages, everything by now you can tell is going to run along this left side of your dashboard. So I'm going to go here to pages. And if we want to add a new page, it's very, very similar to adding a new blog post. The only difference is that a page is going to be a permanent part of your website. So let's just start with adding a new page for now, just so that we can see how this will fit into the menus later. Okay, so I'm going to title my new page About Mike, and there you can see the permalink just showed up and it pulled that title and made it a part of the link. So that's the link to this page. Now I'm going to just type in some random text here, and there we go. And I can check this the way that I would a blog post using the preview or the save draft. But for the purposes of this demonstration, let's just set this up pretty quick. And so I'm just going to hit publish, and that's going to make my page live. So I have an About Mike page, but it doesn't mean that it's easy to see on my blog. Okay, in fact, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to see it because I haven't set this new page to a menu. So yeah, there's no way that this is on my page. No one can see it unless they have that particular link. So let's go back into my dashboard, and we're going to use this as an example to set up our menus. Okay, and your menus are what you're going to use in terms of getting all your pages to show on your blog. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down here to appearance, and I'm going to scroll to menus. I'm going to click that, and it's going to pull up a couple of different options for menus, and you can see that there isn't anything created yet. So I'm just going to type in a menu name, and these are all customizable. So I'm just going to say menu 1. Okay, let's just say that, and I'm going to create this menu. And once I do that, WordPress is going to say, okay, great, you have a custom menu. Now add the pages that you want. Now the page that I just created About Mike is over here. That's some of my most recent. If you want to view all of them, there's a home link, then there's the About page, a sample page, so on and so forth. So I'm just going to click this page, About Mike, and I'm going to say Add to Menu. WordPress pulls it in. You can see that it's a page. If you want to scroll down, you can see my navigation label and so on and so forth. And so I'm going to save this menu again. Now, even though I've now made the menu, it does not mean that my menu is necessarily showing on my page yet, because I've got to tell WordPress where I want that menu, and this depends on the theme. So let's just take a look here. Visit site, and you can see you still don't see the menu. You don't see that About link, even though I have made it. So let's go back into the dashboard. I could have just gone to menus here, but we're not going to do that because we've already created a menu. Now I'm going to take you into using widgets. So scroll back down to appearance, mouse over into widgets. Now widgets are like plugins, but they're right on your page. And so what this does is now pull up a whole list of widgets and a whole list of locations right here on the right side of the screen. So depending on the theme that you have, you'll have different options for your widgets. Now, a quick scroll through of this list of widgets here. You see the archives, categories. If you remember from the blog post that we used as a sample, I'd created a category for marketing. I can actually list those categories on places within my blog page by just simply dragging these over. But let's use the menu just so that you don't get confused or anything, okay? All right, so here it is, custom menu. It says add a custom menu to your sidebar. Well, I made one because that menu that I just made is a custom menu. So I'm just going to drag this over, and I can put it anywhere I want, but I want to place it in my header right. And you can see now this dotted line box pulls up. I'm going to drop it right there. I don't necessarily need to title the menu because everyone's going to know what it is. But you can see here I can select the menu, and since I only made one, it's pulling up menu number 1. And then I hit save. So again, I've placed the custom menu that I've made into the as a widget, pulled it into the header right section. Now let's see what it looks like live. Okay, I'm going to go back out, look at the front end. Okay, and now you can see that my menu has shown up here. This About Mike page is now in the menu bar that's on the header, this whole top section, right. And so now someone can go into that, click, and you can see this ASDF text that I just put as a sample. So in short, when you want to build out the rest of your blog, you're going to set a menu bar, and then you're going to play around with the widgets. So let's play a little bit more with some of the widgets. Okay, let's say that you want to feature a page in the sidebar of your blog. Okay, here's your primary sidebar section. You can drag something in there. So let's say you want to use a featured page or a recent post, list, or a search thing, or a text box. You can pull any one of these in there. So just so we mix it up a little bit, let's pull recent posts, and I'm going to drag this into my primary sidebar that I assume is going to be on the right side. Okay, and they're going to ask me for a title, so I'm just going to title this recent posts, and you can show whatever amount of posts you want to show. Now I've only written 1. You saw me write it, so let's just leave it at 5. And let's click display the post date. I often don't do this, but let's just do it for the purposes of demonstration. So again, this recent posts list, depending on based on my headlines, are going to show in the primary sidebar of my blog. So let's click save. Let's go back out to view the front end of the site. And you can see right here are my recent posts. So pulled that right into this right sidebar. I still have my menu here, About Mike, and you can build this sidebar out with as many things as you want. Let's keep on going. If you've gotten the hang of it and you want to go play around with some of this stuff yourself, by all means, go ahead. But let's do a little bit more with the widgets just so that you can kind of see what's going on. Now, with the home call to action, I don't think that this is going to be a feature that's on every single blog post. This is probably native to this Executive Pro theme. But the home call to action button, I'm assuming, is going to be some big bar in the middle of my homepage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this text widget, and you can use these as many times as you want, and I'm going to drag this right into the call to action. And you can see here the fields are totally blank. You can write whatever you want. If you want to use some HTML to put some pictures in there, you can do that as well. But let's just type something in and see how it looks. I'm going to write welcome to my blog, and this is the official marketing blog of Mike Kim. Okay, let's just say that. Now, if you have more than one line of text and you want to show the spaces, you want to just click this little box here below, automatically add paragraphs, so that if I hit the enter button and skip a line, WordPress will automatically do that. So let's just put some more text. Happy New Year. Okay, and let's hit save, and let's just see what it looks like. A lot of the WordPress stuff and playing around with new themes is just a lot of experimentation, just kind of looking at it back and forth. So now that it's saved, I'm going to go back into the front end of my site, and there it is. There's this big call to action. So I guess this particular theme just has the homepage get totally taken over by that particular widget. Now, if this happens, oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I get out of this? How do I undo that? Don't panic. Simply go back to widgets. I'm actually glad this happened. Discovering this all as you guys are. Okay, I'm going to go back to call to action, and let's say I want to get rid of that text, but I want to keep it. I just don't want to use it here. You can drag that text, let's say, right into your primary sidebar. So remember where this stuff was before with the recent posts? I just dragged it into the sidebar as well. So you can change the order, so on and so forth, play around with these in different ways. And let's just see what that looks like. Go back to the front end, And here's that text. So it looks like this. It's not too invasive. So what could you do here with this? You could probably post a picture via HTML. If you don't know how to do HTML, I would suggest looking at some of the stuff that's online on the WordPress forums and stuff like that. That's going to be kind of a more detailed analysis. I don't do a lot of that stuff. I used to have my designer do it. But you could use this as a short bio section and fill out as much text as you want, and then have the recent posts under it. So let's go back and play around with a few more widgets, and then I'm going to close up this video. But let's go back to the widgets. Let's say that you want to leave a search page or a search option for your readers. So you're going to find this search, pull it into the primary sidebar. It's also going to give you an option to title it. So let's just say search my blog. Save it. And let's do a few more. Let's play around a little bit more with some of these other widgets. Here we have on the right side sections for footers, and those are obviously going to be towards the bottom of your layout. And you've got all these different widget areas, and what I like to do a lot is pull a text widget into this widget area to one of the footers and use these for different panels for information. Let's say the first one is contact me, email me at Mike Kim. Okay, and we save that one. And then let's say in footer 2, I want to pull in some sort of text box or search page or whatever you want. And this is going to be latest random news, and maybe it's just some quote I feel like sharing. I'm typing terribly. Forgive my typing. I can't type and talk at the same time. I'm totally unable to do that. Okay, but let's just put in this quote here, and I'm going to save that as well. Okay, and so let's see what this all looks like. Okay, I'm going to go back out here to the front end of my site. Let's scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there it is. There's my contact me widget. So that was on the footer 1. This is footer 2 area, latest random news, or here's a quote. And then here's the footer 3 area, which I didn't really do anything with. So you can see that's how this works with themes. So you've got a lot of real estate here on the right side with your sidebar. Some bloggers like to pack this stuff out with advertisements and other opt-in pages, so on and so forth. It's totally up to you. You just play around with the widgets. And that's really it in a nutshell. You got your menu up here with the pages. Got some different widget areas here. Widget areas along the bottom. The footer here. And you just play around with what you like, what kind of information you want to feature. Again, everything is based right out of the dashboard. If you get lost with the widgets, most of the stuff that you're going to need to run your site is going to be found right here in the Appearance tab. This is the stuff that's going to be really dynamic with your themes, with your widgets, with your menus, so on and so forth. Okay, so have fun with it. If there are any questions I can help answer, definitely comment here or on my blog, and I'd love to help you out. And again, there's a ton of information that's out there, so you can just kind of Google some of the WordPress basics, or check out the WordPress forums right on WordPress.org or .com. They're gonna have tons of information there. Okay, happy blogging.